And in this lesson, we're going to go ahead and do our final texture tweaks here. Before we go ahead and import our model to render in our scene. And I'm just going to pretty much just mess with and change with what I know is going to work. There's nothing really too much specific here that I can really tell you, other than it's just what I know is going to work. And sometimes when you render and you see an error, you're going to have to fix it anyway. So you just have to try to figure out what's wrong and go ahead back and try and fix that error. But for me, I know what's going to work here and what's not going to work, so I'm just adjusting, our subsurface scattering to be a little darker. I don't want him so white, because then he's going to look sort of like a ghost. I'm just going to change the specular a little bit and the SS layers. I am adjusting our chrome material for the eyes on the shoe here to be a little less reflective. I don't want it to be so intense. Making sure I put subdivision preview on the model there, or on the arm there, so that whenever I go to import it into our scene, I can just simply add a smooth node to it. And this is very important because, like I said, if I go to render a subdivision viewport on 5 of these guys, it's going to be an extremely long render. If I just add a smooth node to it and use the V-Ray frame buffer, which is a lot faster than the My rendering window, in some cases, it's not going to be that fast. But if I add just a viewport subdivision in there, it's going to be an extremely long render. It would probably end up taking somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 hours compared to maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And I'm just adjusting our glass here. And this is all just from trial and error and just going with what I know is going to work, or just going with adjustments. As you can see, I'm not really sure on how I want the glasses to look. Maybe I'll make them a little darker, sort of like a Persimmon material, which is like a sunglasses material. And I'm just going to adjust the eyes a little bit because I want to make them a little more reflective with a little bit less specular. And I'm just adjusting the refraction here. adjust the hair so that it's not going to be so shiny. And I'll adjust our glasses frame material here. I don't want to make it that reflective. It should be at least somewhat reflective so it really is plastic. And in the next lesson we'll go ahead and do our render.